A lot of people practice yoga consistently for years, but they still don't become more mobile. They'll show up, they'll stretch, they'll breathe, they'll sweat, and although that might feel good in the moment, nothing really changes. And the reason isn't flexibility. This is what we're going to cover in today's video. My name is Leif, and I've been practicing yoga for over half of my life, and I've been teaching for almost as long. I have other titles where I'm a mobility specialist, a strength coach, a rehabilitation trainer, assessment specialist, yada yada, the list goes on. Basically, what my day job is to help people to train and take care of and understand this biological system for a lifetime of well-being and to reach any other physical goals that you might have. So let's say you want to just be able to sit in meditation for as long as you deem necessary, or if you want to do some crazy poses like stand on your hands or hold your splits, if you just want to have a nice gentle practice and release stress, if you're looking for things like gaining weight or losing weight or building tons of muscle, or if you want to run a marathon, whatever it is, I can help you on that journey. All right, so what is the reason that you are not experiencing all of the amazing progression that's possible to optimize your body, to optimize every joint and every muscle in the full range of motion so that you can experience true freedom in your body and do anything that you want? It is the level of intensity that you stimulate your tissues and your nervous system. Comfort does not create progression. Basically, if the body can already tolerate what you're exposing it to, it has no reason to change. And the body will only adapt if it absolutely has to. So if we want our bodies to improve, we have to expose it to a high enough intensity to teach the biological system to actually create adaptations. Then begs the question, how much intensity are we talking about here? The answer is, you really have to push yourself as hard as possible because you're going to have to deliver somewhere between 80 to 100% of your max capacity, your max intensity that your body can muster to send a clear enough signal through your nervous system to all of your tissues to make an adaptation. So it's going to look something like this. Trying to find 10 out of 10 before we collapse. As deep as you can here. Challenge your tissues and hold and hold and hold. If I just relax my hand completely, right? This is 0% intensity, like nothing is going on. And then if I were to visit the opposite end of that polarity and just squeeze every single muscle that I can in my hand and try to work up to, my max strength, my max intensity in this hand, that's going to be 100% intensity. So if you want to create as much adaptations as you can in your tissues, in your body, and have as much physical progression as possible, you're going to have to work at a level where you're pushing yourself to 80 to 100% of your max capacity. So you can try to think, right, from 0%, so you're totally relaxed, to 100%. Where is that? 80 to 100%. That is super intense. It's really hard to push yourself that much to get there. But if you keep trying and keep pushing yourself there, you will eventually get it. And of course, if you just do it once and you never do it again, that signal is going to be so vague. It was just like this one small thing that you did once. Your body's going to be like, okay, well, whatever that was, I'm not going to do anything about that. In order to have this progression, you need to do that and send this signal again and again and again. So we're talking at least once a week is minimum. Once a week, maybe even just be maintenance for some people. But you're going to have to be delivering like once, twice, maybe even 3 times a week in the beginning. And then maybe you can have some weeks where you do a little bit more, some weeks where you do a little bit less. And then there's, of course, the timing and how much time you do this. And the time that you're working at 80 to 100% intensity depends entirely on what type of goal you're trying to reach. So if you're just trying to build strength over time, if you're trying to build explosive strength, if you're trying to build size, you're going to have to hold things and work at that intensity for a certain amount of time. And then we have different ways that we can be working that intensity. So you could just be working isometrically, where you're just like squeezing and holding the thing. And then you have like a more directional strength. So are you pushing towards a direction? Because, if I were to show with my shoulder, you can move your arm this way, you can move it this way, you can move it out. So what way are you pushing to create then that specific strength in that specific angle, area, range, and so on? And then the good news is that once you have actually built this thing, so for sure, it's absolutely super intense and it takes a long time to build this strength and create this new range of motion and control in this new range of motion. But then once you finally have it, to maintain it is so much easier, and it costs so little less energy to just hold yourself where you are. Basically, I like to explain it to my clients like this. if you're going to build a house, right, from scratch, you have nothing. You need builders, you need an architect, you need material, you need all that, you need a plot of land. So there's so much more time and energy and focus that goes into building a house. But then when you finally have this house, just to maintain it and take care of it, of course, that takes way less energy and way less focus. So to build and create something, yes, it takes a lot of time and effort and intensity. But then when you finally have it, to maintain it is so much easier. So if you just want to maintain this new ability that you've done, really all that you need to do is just do it once a week at a pretty high intensity, and then you're going to keep it. That's the kind of mobility that lasts. If you want to learn how to build and maintain this type of mobility properly, this is exactly what I teach my students in my online yoga studio. I go live once a week every Saturday, and you'll also get access to these live recordings after the class, so you have something to practice wherever you are in the world and whenever it suits your schedule. If this sounds like something that you need, there's links in the description. I hope to see you there. Peace, namaste, and have a fantastic day.